When I first picked up the book Healthy Brain, Happy Life by Wendy Suzuki, I thought this book was going to be incredibly informational and research heavy, and I thought it was going to be really dry. But I bought this book a year ago, so I decided I shouldn't waste my money and I should give it a try and read it. But I soon found out that Wendy Suzuki, instead of writing a generic book about brain health, decided to incorporate her own personal journey, her own personal story into brain health and neuroscience research. So who is Wendy Suzuki? Well, for those who are in academia, she is your role model. She's a world-renowned neuroscientist, has won multiple prizes and produced highly regarded scientific publications at University, NYU, and runs a research lab. So what's wrong with her? On paper, she has it all. A great career, money, and lives in one of the best cities in the world. And this is where the book gets interesting. The real truth is, even though she quote-unquote has everything, she's 40 and single, she's incredibly overweight, and was focused on work 100% of the time. And did I mention she was single? This is where her personal journey started, and it started in Peru when she was river rafting. While she was river rafting during the night, she and the rest of her group had to set up camp, and she was part of a human fire line handling bags of equipment from one person to another. It was in this process she realized that she had no strength or aerobic training, because the two people next to her went around her every time something heavy was coming their way because she had no strength. And this was a pivotal moment because that's when she decided that she needed to get healthier. And what makes this story so different from all these other stories and books about people getting fit? She's a neuroscientist, and she used the power of brain plasticity to help her in this journey. And what brain plasticity is, first off, no, it's not the fact that your brain's made out of plastic. That's false. But your brain, this organ that allows us to feel those emotions, those thoughts, and memories, has the ability to change. So what does that mean? If we allow our brains to be exposed to a wide variety of stimuluses, it actually helps grow our brain. Compared to those brains who are exposed to the same stimulus, same boring things every single day. And that actually helps reduce our brain size. There was a study that was mentioned in the book about these two groups of rats. The first group was exposed to a rich environment with toys and exercise equipment for the rats to play around in, compared to the second group of rats who were exposed to nothing. And what scientists found was rats with a rich surrounding had larger brains. And this is where things got really exciting because this led her down the path of exercise. And in the book, she talks about how exercise has the ability to double the rate of neurogenesis in the hippocampus. What neurogenesis is pretty much creating more neurons in our brains. And our hippocampus is where we house most of our memory. And these neurons have dendrites. And these dendrites are where we capture all our signals to help function normally every single day. And these dendrite spines increase in density, length, and complexity every time you're exercising. And this increases brain cells in our hippocampus. So think about it. You're exercising and you're increasing brain cells in an organ or a part of the brain that houses memory. The potential is there. There's so much potential. And this led her down the path of intentional exercise. And what is intentional exercise? Wendy started going into this exercise class called Inta Sati. And Inten comes from the word intention, and Sati comes from the Indian language of Pali that means awareness or mindfulness. The idea here is to use exercise movements involved in kickboxing, dance, yoga, and martial arts, at the same time shouting positive affirmations along with each move. Things like, I am inspired, I am grateful, I am sexy, my brain is beautiful. So this is where she says in the book, I now realize that this workout was so special because it brought out the power of brain-body connection to life. And for me, more powerfully than it ever did before. And this was a workout that made her feel more connected to not just her body, but her thoughts, emotions, and physical movement. And as she got more intentional with her exercising, she went down a path of meditation. And I love meditation. I talk about it in all my videos and podcasts. But here she talks about how there's two types of meditations. There's one is attention, which is focusing on your breath or focusing on a certain word. And then there's another type of meditation called monitoring meditation. And this is where you focus on a feeling or sensation such as love and really start to embody it throughout your body. These two areas have helped her overcome two things, addiction and stress. And she was addicted to bad eating. She was addicted to being lazy, right? And what most people don't understand is most individuals relapse on addiction because of some sort of stress And exercising allows you to reduce that amount of stress, along with meditation as well. And stress, even if you don't have addiction, personally for me, I'm more able to handle stressful situations now because, like Wendy, I've trained my mind through exercising and meditation. And this is what I'm really excited to talk about. First is using meditation, using exercising has the ability to increase your creativity and imagination. There's so many people who say, I'm not creative. And one solution for this is to exercise, to meditate more, right? Because meditation helps us beef up our prefrontal cortex, which focuses on focused attention, working memory, and cognitive flexibility. These are three big things that allows us to be more focused and more attentive with the surroundings and the things going into our brains that allows us to be more creative. In the art of being mindful, like Wendy Suzuki said, I know for sure that brain plasticity endows us with enormous capacity to change into the very best versions of ourselves that we can be. So see exercise not just as an activity, but as a prescription to your body and mind to work on all cylinders throughout the day and during the times of stress.